Hello everyone, we are going live to learn how to DIY our bridal bouquet. So first we're going to start with this here. Then we're going to do our flowers. We got our flowers. I already had a leftover with this one. Then we're going here with this. Then this here. Then we have our ball. And then I have two different beads because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do the small one or the large one. And here's the other one here. And of course we have our trusty scissors. I guess this is called like the fabric scissors because I tried to use regular scissors and it wasn't going to work either. We have our glue gun as well. And then don't come for me for my comb because this is what we have here. Hello, hello, hello. So we're going to get started. So we have our ball here. So that's the first thing that you want to start with here. I had already bored a hole in here. And then like, share, and tap the screen as well. So you put the hole, I bored the hole in there already so you can kind of see through back and forth here, there. So what you do is, usually it's right here. You have to literally kind of go back and forth here and here as well. Once you have done this already, you take this right here. So you go ahead here. So the goal is to get this here to this, basically. That's the goal. But instead of you seeing the green, you will see the white. So now we're going to put this through. I didn't cut it yet because I don't know how long I want it as well. And hopefully I have enough. It looks like I do. I kind of like count it to see. And then keep in mind, we are learning how to do a bridal bouquet as well. So I think that's a little bit long enough there. So what I do is, I like to put something because my hole is like super big here. I like to put something because my hole is like super big here. So what I do here, it comes with leaves. So I kind of just cut it. Because all I'm going to use this is for stuffing. So I'm just going to stuff it here. I don't know if you can see it. Just going to kind of stuff it here. Because my hole is super big. If you can see here. And then I'm just going to go and crazy glue all this together. I mean, glue gun it all together. And make sure it's just kind of in the center. But you're not going to be able to tell. So I'm just crazy gluing it. It might take a minute to dry. And I just leave it like that. I got to get another glue gun stick here. And just put it in. And just kind of go around it. And just kind of cover the hole a little bit. And just kind of cover the hole a little bit. And I just kind of fill it here. So I just kind of put it here. Like and share, like and share, like and share. And you just put this in. And it's not going to take long to dry. Maybe less than 60 seconds. Maybe 2 minutes. It all depends. And I just kind of leave it for a second. And kind of put a little bit more glue at the top. And let it sit for a second. And let it dry. Be careful because the glue gun is hot as well. So you see here. And I could just do this to cover the hole a little bit because my hole is super big. That's what I did with the other ones. So my ball won't go anywhere. Okay? So you'll see it here. So it's almost like it's stuck, it's in place. So I'm just going to add a little bit more glue to it. It does get messy. It gets super messy. Super, super messy. But once you see the final product, you're going to be like, oh my God, it looks so good. So I just kind of do it like that. You can use a sharp object. I just chose to use a comb because it's super easy for me. Be careful with the glue gun because it does get hot. So that's how it looks here. So I'm just waiting till it kind of dries a little bit. This is one end. This is the bottom piece here. You'll see it. I have maybe 8. I just kind of count it depending on how long I want it to be. And this is kind of what you're looking at. So I'm going to let it kind of sit a little bit. If anybody have any questions, let me know while I let this sit for a little bit. So the goal is to go from this to this. And I'm going to fill this in a little bit because I did boil extra flowers. So I'm going to fill in the green spots that you see. So we're going to go from this to this finished product. And honestly, it's super easy. I thought it was hard. I watched a couple of videos. I was like, I don't know if I could do it, but I am not up for paying $300 or $185 for one of these when you can pay less than $40 and do it yourself. Or have your bridesmaid do it. But I kind of do it with love because I love doing arts and craft. So this was nothing for me to do. I think it took me less than 30 minutes. I put on a TV show and then I just kind of went my way and kind of do it. So you'll see it setting. So it won't go in place. I'll probably wait another 2 minutes just to make sure because I got to do the other side of it as well. And if anybody have any questions, let me know. I'm just checking the comments. See if I have any comments. Okay, cool. Cool. So we have already gotten started. And then I'm just going to kind of backtrack a little bit. The goal is to go from here to this beautiful bridal bouquet. And this is actually what I am going to be doing for my wedding. I already have 5. This is the last one to do. So I figured I'd do a live with this. So the first step is, one, you have to dig a hole into the ball and make it big enough so that the pearls could go through it. And then make it long enough so it could kind of hang here. And then what you do, once you do that, my hole was super big. So all I did was maybe add a leaf in there just to kind of stuff it a little bit and use the glue gun to let it set. So you'll see it's kind of setting now. You'll see it's kind of getting sticky. So I kind of want to wait another kind of 2 minutes and let it set a little bit more. And I might put another leaf here. And remember, you're not going to see any leaves. You're not going to see the mistakes. You're not going to see anything at all, to be honest with you. I'm just going to cut this a little bit. And just kind of put it around here to fill my hole a little bit. And you're not going to see any of this once you put the flowers on. And then it's white on top of white. Before I didn't even think about it. I was just like, hey, let me just pick up something and see how it actually goes. Okay. So you'll see the hole a little bit here. You're not even going to see the hole once we finish and get started. So the first step is to grab the ball, do a hole like in the middle of the ball, and put it into the other side till you see the other side. You take the thing on the other side, you kind of swirl it a little bit to make the hole just a little bit bigger, okay? Once you do that, I kind of stuff it with the leaves on the inside because my hole was super big. And then I just stuff it with the leaves that came with the flowers as well. So it's just about dried. And then you see here. And that's what it looks like here. So now we're going to go on the other side. So this is the top part here. Hopefully this is going to be all right. If not, I'll fix it. So basically I kind of gauge. Basically you're doing this because it's going to go over the lady's arms. And then you want to give a little bit of room as well. Because once you do it, the flowers goes over it and brings it up just a tad bit. So I think I'm going to leave it right here. But I want to add some because I want to put some overflow. So when I glue it together, I won't have an issue. So I'm just going to kind of cut it right here. And put my arm in it. And just put the balls in here. So I think that'll be fine right there. And then I just do the same thing. I make sure that it's all the way in. And I might stuff it with these. You're not going to see this. So I just kind of put it in a little bit more. Stuff it with these leaves here. That came with it. And I just want to make sure that I have enough, that my girls have enough room to actually do it. Okay. Just to let you know, we are making the bridal bouquet. Wedding bridal bouquet. We're going to go from this. Uh-oh, it's gluing. We're going to go from this here. And this is the gold, the finished product right here. Okay. So now we did the bottom piece. So you'll see the bottom there. And then now this is the top. So now we're going to take our glue gun. And I bought plenty of these as well. So I got more than enough. And then we're just going to put it in here. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did at the bottom to the top. And we're just going to put it here. Use the glue gun. I use a lot of glue because I want to make sure it ain't going nowhere as well. So if you can see here, I'll put it up because I don't know if you can see it. And we're just putting it in here. I just put a lot of glue. I overload it with glue. Here. And then I just kind of flip it so it can get both sides. And you'll see the glue here. And I kind of fill it to the top. I did use the 6000. I had to wait till to do it overnight. So the glue gun is super easy to use because it sets right away. So you'll see it here. So I like to hold it up. I had some concoction, but I'm doing it live. So I didn't want it to flow. So I just wanted to go straight up and down. So I just do this. It's probably an easier way of doing this. So I just chose to do it this way because it's easier for me. And if anybody have any questions, let me know. So we are doing the bridal bouquet, wedding bridal bouquet. Who wants to pay $300 or $185 for this when you can kind of do it under $40 and do it yourself? I love doing it. So I love doing arts and craft. That's what I love to do. I could do it all day as a job, actually, because it's fun for me. So the goal is to go from here. This is the bottom. The goal is to go from here. I'm holding it so it could dry to here. So you'll see the difference. That's what you're looking at. So we did the bottom here. That's the bottom, kind of dry. And now we're actually doing the top. So the goal is for the ladies to put it through their hand, and they're just going to walk down the aisle with it like this. With it over, with the pearls over their hand like this. Super easy, so they won't have to hold it for like 30 to 45 minutes while the ceremony's going on. I thought it was super easy, super nice, and super cute. So we're just waiting for this to set. I should have probably had a blow dryer so it could dry a little bit faster. So you'll see it's setting a little bit here. So the first step is to have your ball, get your ball. After that, you want to bore a hole, something sharp, a knife or something like that. But I chose to use a tail comb because it was easy. That's the first thing honestly, it was the first thing I grabbed, the first thing I saw. And then you just kind of want to swirl it to make the hole big enough that the pearls could go through. And you want to do it on both sides here. And we're just waiting to set. Once you do that, if your hole is too big, you can always use the little leaves that comes with the box of flowers, because that's what I did. Or you could use usually you have like crumbs from opening it so big. So I just put it on the top to cover just to cover the hole. I don't have a whole lot because I didn't make a big mess. Sometimes you won't make a big mess either. So now what we're doing, I'm just trying to cover the hole a little bit. You're not going to see it anyway because you didn't see it on the other one unless you like look. So now you're seeing this, you see the hole is like about covered. I just put it on top of the glue, kind of let it sit. It's still a little wet. So the goal is here, we'll make a wedding bridal bouquet for the bridesmaids, or you could use it for yourself. It all depends on what you want to do. This is the last one that I'm actually doing for my bridesmaids here, and that's how they're wear it. So the goal is to go from this to this right here. So this is the end result here. Don't forget to like, share, and tap the screen as well. So this is the bottom piece. So the goal is to make sure that your hole is big enough that it goes through here. So that's the first step. Once you do that, you put the pearls through this, you let it through here, and then you kind of swoop this and put both ends on there, just enough so your girls can actually do this. Hi to Tara. Just want to say hi to everybody. Rosie. I'm horrible at enunciating names. God's First, Ryani, Mora, Radiant Sunflower, Stephanie, thank you for coming in. Rivera, Petty, Palola Doulas, Miss Johnson, thank you for coming in. Catalina, if I pronounce your name wrong, please forgive me. I am not the best at it. Raquel, thank you for coming in. TT Hubbard and Bisco. Oh my God, I can't pronounce these names. Teresa, thank you for joining. Thank you for coming in. Lakeisha, thank you for coming in. Mustafa. Oh no, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. So now what we're doing, this is, I think, the second or third step. So the goal is to go from here to here. Thank you for joining, MAM_AL818. So you see this here? So this is like the third or fourth step. Thank you, Bobby Surrey. Forgive me if I mispronounce your name. I'm not the best. So the first step is to have the ball. Use this or a sharp object. This was the first thing that I saw. Make sure you have a hole from one end to the other. All right, once you do that, you want to glue the bottom first. I'm not finished with the bottom because my hole is super big. So I'm going to fix that. And then after you do that, you want to just kind of wait 2 or 3 minutes to let it sit and dry. Hi, Mr. Pratt. Hey, Minnie. Thank you for joining. Then once you do that, you just kind of loop this enough that your girls can kind of do this. So this is the goal walking down the aisle. And then this is about dried here. And then what you do, you start forming your flowers. So I cut some of my flowers. I'm going to do this. I'll probably be here for a minute. So I cut some of my flowers. So this is how the flowers come in a box. You could get it from either Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby kind of ran out, so I got it from Amazon. I was able to get a box or two from Hobby Lobby, but after that, they didn't have any more. So what I did, they come like this, a really long stem. So what I do is I just kind of cut it down. I'll show you live cutting it down. No, this is not gonna cut it the way I'll be fighting with it. So I just cut it enough, and I do this, kind of hold it, and it just cuts. So what I do is just kind of start forming the thing here, and I just start here, and I already cut some already. So I go here, and I get as close to the hole as possible. Well, now you can't see it. So that's what I said. You can't really see it. So you go here. Thank you for joining, Trish. Thank you for coming in, Laura and Lee, and with the what? Hey, Abby. So here, go here. You start forming your flowers. I just go all the way around and just kind of stick it in here. And then I would just bring this up a little bit in the middle. And then here, I just kind of stick right here. And literally it's not going anywhere. And if you want to use glue, technically I do put glue on this, so I don't know why I didn't do that the first time. So I'm kind of going to take this out. So what I do is I put a little glue here. Just going around. And I'll just put it here. Uh-oh. So it really ain't going nowhere. And I just go here, here, here. Thank you for coming in, KT, Abby. And I just go around the top first. So the goal is to go from this here to this. The only difference is going to be this is actually white, and I use a green one instead. I kind of like the green because it's, you know, you have green flowers and stuff like that. I mean green around the flowers. So I'm just testing this out, but I'm still, one of my girls are going to use this. And then now here we're going to finish off the flowers here. And I'm kind of going to demonstrate and go back with the steps. You see here. And I just kind of fill it at the top here. So first of all, you want to start with the ball. Once you do the ball, you kind of want to use a sharp object. I just kind of use a comb because that's the first thing that I saw. And I kind of bore a hole big enough so that the pearls could come through. Hello, Kate.10585. Thank you for joining. You come in. Once you do that, you go from there and you push it on the other side. So you kind of play with it, swirl it in so it can be big enough. And then the other side too. Once you put the pearls in, you bring it the hole big enough, and then you come here. You want to glue the bottom here, and then it will stay, and then you glue the top and kind of loop. Cut the pearls enough. I use this. So I'm about done. I think this is like $6. I think I paid maybe $6.99 for it at Hobby Lobby, whole roll. I did about 6. So this is my 6th one, and I still got a little bit left here. So I wait till it's glued, and then now we're putting on the flowers. So we're just learning how to make a purse bouquet on a budget, DIY. So now I bought a lot of these in another bag because I use a lot of glue. So I just didn't want to run out. And now I'm just putting it in here. So we're going to finish here. We're going to do this. So now we're going to put on the flowers. I start to the top because it's easier for me. So now you just see it's forming. And you still kind of got green in the flowers. I left the green because I like the green in the flowers there. So you'll see it forming. And if you're just coming in, I cut it because this is how the flowers come with the long stem here. And I use this because it's easier. I did have a regular scissors, but I was kind of fighting with it and I didn't want to fight with it at all. So I'm just cutting it. Once I cut it, I glue it. Hopefully this is self-explanatory. If anybody have any questions, I will answer those questions. And then what I do, I see an opening here, and I just put another one right here. I'll just do it here so you see it forming. If anybody have any questions, thank you for joining, John, Rachel, Raquel, and Dolores, and user 6339594 with the long number. Thank you for joining, Dewan. If I mispronounce your name, please forgive me. I am not the best. That's why I'm not a school teacher. Diane, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. You'll see here, we're kind of just forming. We're making this is my bridal bouquet. Decided to do one live since I got a lot of questions on how to actually make it. So we're just going to sit and make it today. And then I glue it. I cut the stem. You'll see the glue. And then we're just going to keep going. And I put it as close as possible. So you see it forming here. And I cut this too short, so glue would help this as well. So even if you take the green off of this and you just want to make it pearl, if you just want to make it white, you could snatch it off as well. I just chose to leave it on there. And then the color is off-white. This is an off-white color. Or what you want to call it, ivory or cream. I think it's more like an ivory color. Because cream is a little darker. And I just keep putting flowers around it. Welcome in, everyone. Narinder, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. What did I do? Okay. I done messed with the screen. Okay, here we go. Because I messed with the screen and messed it up. All right, so we finished that box. That was like less than half a box. So you see it forming now. So we're going to open up our next box here. I wanted to make sure I bought more than I needed as well. And I want to fill in the other flowers on my other bouquets as well. So I didn't cut these. This is how it comes. This is how it comes here. This is the box. And if you want some, like it comes with leaves. I didn't use the leaves because I didn't think it was necessary. Because I just wanted to kind of keep it. It has enough green in it. So I didn't really need it. And then, of course, you got to cut it. So I'm just going to cut and glue, cut and glue, cut and glue. If anybody have any questions, let me know. Hello. Thanks for joining, Pinky, Raquel, Rachel, user 6339. Thank you for joining. DEVAKI. Thank you for joining. Laura, thank you for joining. Terry, thank you for joining. So just to recap, we are making a wedding bridal bouquet. I don't know what happened to this. Wedding bridal bouquet on a budget, like DIY. So when they quoted me, I was like, I don't know if I want to spend that. I'd rather spend it on something else. So they quoted me like $185 for this. So the goal is to go from this to this here. So now we're forming it. So when they said it, I kind of just did the research and off a whim, what else? So this is just a tip of making your own. It doesn't take this long at all. What I did was when I first did mine, I kind of bombed mine because when I saw it, it was actually square. I didn't know if they had circles. So I kind of took the flowers off that one, threw that in the garbage, and just made a whole nother one with the circles, and it came out so much better. And this ball is about 5 inches. So you could use 5 or 8. 8 is a little bit bigger. This is an actual 8. I have junior bridesmaids. So this is an actual 8 and this bigger. So the same size in this. So I have 2 of these. Looks like this. So you don't even need it that big. And this is 5 inches, I think. It's about 5 inches. And I absolutely love it. I just got to take all this stuff off. Glue got on it. So that's what you're looking at here. I got to recenter this. So that's the goal, to get from here to here. So we're going to keep going. And we're going to glue this. So I'm going to go step by step for those who just joined here. We're like halfway through. So the goal is to get one of these, whether you do it, depending on what size you want. This is a 5 inch. I also use the 8 inch. Thanks for joining, Phoenix, Stephanie, Y3, Yellowbone, and Juanita. Thank you for joining. So the goal is to either use a 5 or an 8 inch. I have a 5 and an 8 inch. If preferably, I would have did the 5 inches because it's big enough. I didn't think the 5 inches were big enough, but when I made it for my junior bridesmaid, it was everybody could have did it. So once you have this, the next step is the first step is just to put a hole in the ball. So you could, big enough so you could have this going through the ball. Once you do that, you put the pearls through the ball, and then you just kind of glue it with the hot glue. Let it sit for maybe about 2 or 3 minutes, and then you do the other side. That's the bottom piece. You do the other side, you flip this, and then you put a little bit, maybe like 4 or 5 of these beads, put it in there. You could stuff it with the white, because I have some of the mesh here. Use a little mesh here if you have enough. If not, I just use the flowers that I showed you before, and then let it sit for 2 or 3 minutes, and then you can start adding the flowers. The flowers come like this, so of course you have to cut them. So here, and all you do is take the glue gun. Be very careful because it is hot. Once you do that, all you have to do is just stick it and move. Let it keep on going. Here. Hey Tay, Kimberly, thanks for joining. We are making a wedding bridal purse bouquet. This is my last one to do. If you have any questions, please let me know. So you see it's forming here, going from bare bones, and now we're putting the flowers on. Keep in mind the flowers are like this, so I am going to probably cut 3 at a time for speed. And you don't want to cut it too short, but you don't want to cut it too long either. So I just kind of, if you can see, hold on, let me flip this. I just want to hold it. I guess it's doing its own thing. Oh, there it go. I usually cut 1 at a time, so. Now all you do is go around, glue it, Thanks for joining, Grandma. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Fruity, thanks for joining. Sue, thanks for joining. I think that's a AJ. Jennifer, Felicia, thanks for joining. Kimberly, Tay, thanks for joining. And I think that's Terry. So now all you do here is you go ahead. I made this too long, honestly. Go here. See if I can kind of do it backwards. And I come as close as possible to the other one. So now we're forming. I'm gonna cut this down a little bit because this is too long for me. And plus you have the glue. And then you just go here. Thank you for joining, Jennifer. Felicia. And you go here. I try to get as close as possible. Here. Go here. What's up, boo? Yeah, I'm on live, just let you know. Here.
I like people.
Here, I'm just gonna cut it. Here. And I just get as close as possible here. So now you see it forming. This is the actual bottom piece. This is the top piece. So you see it forming here. So we're gonna keep going. Glue it. If anybody have any questions. Thanks for joining, Jennifer. You go in here, and I'll just try to get as close as possible without smashing the other one. I want to cut two at the same time. And then we're going to continue until we're done. Thanks for joining, everyone. Does anybody have any questions? I'm just going to keep going. And then I'm going to recap one more time. Keep going. I'm going to recap till we're finished. I'm gonna recap after these two. So we're making a bridal purse bouquet. So our goal is to go from this, it was bare, to this. So you see we're almost there. So the first step is to get your ball, put a hole in it, and you probably want to swirl it to make it big. I just made mine way too big. And to get to the other side, which you really can't see anymore. You find something to stuff it with, and then you put the glue on here. And let it sit for about 2 or 3 minutes. And then once that dry, you come here, you kind of flip the pearls and put an extra 4 or 5 pearls in the hole, and then you glue it as well. So you want to make sure that your girls have enough arm room to hold it. And then once you finish with that, you go and start putting your flowers on. So that's what we're doing now. So you just go here, super easy to do. I mean, if you like doing it, that's one thing. I like doing it. I wasn't gonna pay $185. Take a little love, take a little time, and you actually do. So you actually see it. So you actually see it forming now here. So now we're just working on the bottom. We just go ahead, the next one. If anybody have any questions, let me know. Don't forget to like and share and tap the screen. And here, cut here. Cut. I'm gonna just cut them all till I finish. I might need another box. And if you cut it too short, that's fine. You gotta glue it anyway. So we're gonna redo this. I'm gonna go back over the steps just in case somebody new came in. So the goal is to go from this, actually that's the finished part, go from this to this here. So the first step is to grab your ball. Once you grab your ball, get something sharp. This is what I chose, so don't judge me here. It was easier to do and bore a hole in these, and these are like styrofoam. You go from one end, I just kind of swirl it. I made the hole a little bit too big here. And then to go on the other side, once you put this all the way through, you go through here and do the same thing. And then your pearls will just kind of fall through. Once you do that, you add your glue, put glue in here so it can stay for about 2 or 3 minutes. And then you do the same thing. So how I got this loop is just kind of judge it. I just added maybe a 4 or 5 beads, put it in the hole so it can actually sit. I put a little leaves in there so it could be like maybe 1 inch or 2 at the bottom, and just submerge it with the glue gun as well. So now we're just finishing this up here. Does anybody have any questions? Here, just going here as close as possible without crushing the other flowers. So we're halfway done. Here. Let me push this. Then you here again. So we're making bridal wedding bouquets. Just fill it in. Anybody have any questions? It's forming, you guys. It is forming. So we're just finishing up the bridal bouquet, adding our flowers. It probably takes about 1.5 boxes. Getting ready to use a full box. I use like maybe 6 or 7 out of the other one. It wasn't a full box. And then I'm making it super close as well, so I'm not making it so separated. So it's probably gonna take me more leaves because I didn't want it spreaded. All right, so we're gonna open our next box. And it's coming along. So now we just gotta do the bottom. So I'm gonna cut the leaves first. Leaves, I meant flowers. We're gonna cut the flowers. Thank you for coming in, Terry. Sexy Slim. Zio Too Tall. Red Knotted, Raquel, Zeta, Sandra, Time, Gail, Maria, Natasha Guzman. So now I'm just going to reiterate, I'm going to just go through this as well. We are like literally almost done, halfway through. So I'm gonna go over it step by step again. So the goal is to, from this to this. So the first step you're gonna do is take your ball, get a sharp object. Don't come for me for my comb. This was pretty instrumental of me making my holes, or just getting something sharp. I don't know, a knife. This was easier for me to use. And then you want to bore a hole from one end to the other. You can't really see the other end. Once you make your hole, make it big enough. I made it too big. So once you make it big enough for the pearls to go through, and then it depends on the length you want the bottom. This is my length here. Glue it. Once you glue it, you can feel it if it's too big like mine's. Now it's like kind of rock solid here. And then, so it's not going anywhere. I can hold this and it's not going anywhere. Then you go make it long enough to go to the other side, and then you kind of want to measure, gauge, I should say. And this is how the girls are gonna wear their things. So they won't hold it in their hand for like 30 to 45 minutes. And then I loop it. I just added 4 pearls. I just make sure I put extra pearls in the inside of the thing so it won't go nowhere. So it's literally not going anywhere. You glue it. If you made it bigger than what I did, you just fill it with this. Once you're done there, you just go ahead and start forming your flowers around the circle. So now we're at the bottom half here. So now we're gonna cut and glue, cut and glue, cut and glue. So we're cutting and gluing. And I may use more flowers than what I usually because I'm making them super close. I didn't do that the first time. So you'll get the gist of making the flower bouquet. Super easy. Nobody's not going to pay. Well, I wasn't going to pay $185 for it when I could probably figure out how to do it. If I couldn't do it, then maybe I would have. But I know how to do it. And I love doing arts and craft anyway, so that's right down my alley. Does anybody have any questions? So we're just crafting today a bridal bouquet, wedding purse. So now we're just cutting, we're towards the end. We at home run. We are at home run now. So we're just gonna glue it. And I just go round and round and round and round and round. Anybody have any questions? Thanks for joining, Veronica. Joanne, thanks for joining. We're crafting a bridal bouquet wedding purse. I'm just going to go over it again step by step for those who just joined us. So the goal is we're more than halfway through this anyway. So the goal is to go from this to a finished product and looks like this. So if you've been quoted $185, $300, $200 just for one of these, you can actually do it yourself for under $50 and probably under that. Just take a little time and love. What I did was I'm playing music now, but I just put on my favorite TV show and I did it less than 30 minutes. Each one took less than 30 minutes. I didn't do it all in one day. I did one day, one the other day, and one the day after until I was actually done. This is my last one actually. So I'll be finished with the actual bridal bouquet. Thank you, Raul, for coming in. China, thank you for coming in. Sexy Slim, thank you for coming in. Veronica, thank you for coming in. See, we're almost done. Almost completed. And before we end, I'll go over it one more time, step by step, super easy. You'll see the actual video. It might be going at a fast pace, but it kind of breaks it down as well. Everything you're gonna need. And I'll tell you everything you're gonna need at the end too. So now we see the little big hole here. You're not gonna see it anymore. I was gonna try to fix it, but I don't have to because I could cover it up with the flowers and you're actually not gonna see it. And if you have any question, you can always DM me. I do respond within 24 hours. If I'm on my phone, I always respond. Thank you for joining, Jody, Dayla, and Ruth, Donna, China Doll. Thank you for joining. Sinren, Veronica. So we're, wait now. This one trying to get away. And then I'm gonna add one more. And we are literally complete. Less than an hour. I thought it was going to take me longer than that. So I cut it too short, so I just put enough glue on it. Thank you for coming in, Yoli, Lynn, Night Nurse, Sexy Slim. So I'm just going to cover this right here. And what's going on with this one? Uh-oh. All right, so I don't know what's going on with this one, so I had to snatch this off. I had to do this a couple of times, and it ain't nothing, so all you gotta do is put this on here. Walk in the park. Just make sure this is just kind of straight. And be careful because it is super hot, so I'm just gonna cover this with this and put that here. You really won't see the mistakes, and I'm gonna cover the hole a little bit because I actually want it to be full. And then here we go. This is our last one we're putting here. So we went from starting brand new. So here we are, our bridal bouquet finished. And it still has the green in it because the flowers have the green at the bottom. I like it, but you can always kind of take it off as well. So of course, the first step you need to do is to get a round ball, whether you want green or the white as well. Use this. Once you get that ball, bore a hole like in the middle of the ball. Once you do that, you put it in the ball and make sure you put a hole at the bottom and at the top. You want to do this first. So you want to make sure it's enough to put the actual pearls inside the hole and make it long enough. Depends on what your length is, what you want your length to be. You can actually do that. Then I just wait 2 or 3 minutes for it to kind of get hardened. And then what I did was, let me just see if I can demonstrate a little bit. I just kind of gauge it over my hand, and I put more than I needed and have this part. Usually this part, I have some string in here. I put it and glue it in and put some filling because my hole was super big. I put maybe 2 or 3 of these in there and put glue in there. Let it sit another 2 or 3 minutes. And then you have this. Once you finish with this, you start putting your flowers around the a ball until you complete. And this is the finished product. So if you have any questions, you can always DM me or put it in the message. I do answer. Doesn't matter. Thank you, Kelly and Def Not user 735 for joining. Appreciate it. And my live is getting ready to end. All right, here we go. This is our bridal bouquet, done in less than an hour. It took me 30 minutes because I wanted to make sure I explained it. Everybody understood how it goes. So there we go. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We're probably going to DIY something else. I may do this maybe once a month to show how to DIY. But thanks for joining. I appreciate you guys. You have a great week.